real quick update on this US 30 situation. So last night I had posted a video in reference to um, where it's going and so forth. Of course, it's still my bias, but I wanted to show something, and something, a little nugget I call it, when you want to look at and sniper entries, and where price would go back to retest. So remember I said that I have my Fibonacci from high to low. We came down to 786, and then we started to go up. And I call this my 1027 method, because usually when price is above or above the 27, in this area right here, just put little arrows you can see, just in case you can't see my, let me just make that color red. I don't even see, okay, right here. There we go. So once we are above the 27, that is a bias for me that we're continuing in an uptrend. I also put the 10 on as well, because sometimes price comes up to the 10, maybe breaks above it, and then returns back down, and maybe we test the 27 and then go back up, or just continue down. So I know most Fibonacci has 23.6 on their Fibonacci level. I would recommend changing that to 27, because, from a wick standpoint, it gives it room for a wick. But here it is. So I said last night that if we break above the 10, then we definitely will be heading up. And I think that's looks like that's what we're doing right now. But let's just look in this area where I have these two levels of support and resistance. So price came down. We have the 0% from where I started my Fibonacci. So we have this level of support resistance, which is support and support, as you can see. Then we came down. We made one level here, and then we made another level here, and then we made another level here. So once price started coming up, and it started breaking ceilings. So you had a ceiling here. So you have one ceiling here, and you have one ceiling here, and then you have another ceiling. And I want you to notice, let me just make this bigger as possible, as big as possible, that once I saw that we was coming back down into to retest the one, so we broke it. We did I call an initial retest. We came up, nice impulsive move, which is really the move up, and then the retest came back down to really officially retest this area. So like I said, we're by a quarter point, 28,750, and we're also in a demand zone. And so what happened is I saw the bulls enter back into the market, and then there was a retracement, and then we have this huge bullish institutional pressure showing that the bulls are back in control. And then price moves up, and it breaks the 0%, and it's like, okay, good, we're heading up. But before it did that, you notice that this wick, it came all the way down, right back down to the 10, and really was retesting this level of support and this level of support. So once price had come up, if you want to get a better entry, I would have either had a buy stop here or a buy stop here. Because you see price had came back down into this area, and then we had another candle, and it did the same thing, back down into this area, and then we had some more pressure. So when you see things like this, they're trying to take out the stops. You see these wicks coming back down, retesting, and strong bullish pressure, bullish candles, is letting you know that it's going to be a nice strong move to the upside. And right now what they're doing is they are trying to clear the board, so to speak, and they do that by these wicks. But before these were wicks, these were actual bearish candles, so it would give you a bearish sentiment that we were continuing a downtrend. But once you start seeing that it was price started rejecting above these floors here, understand that the bulls in the market, and that's just the game that they're playing. And so then price comes back down to retest, because since it breaks the 10, of course, whenever there's a break in structure, there's always a retest. So it comes back down and it retests this area here. So these levels here, these small little minor structure levels, they were broken. And so what's broken needs to be retested. And so therefore, that's why we have these wicks here. It came down and actually retested both of them twice and came back, and actually this one's actually retested 3 times. And then we have again some more bullish pressure. Right now it's a candle. It's about 12 o'clock, London closed, lunchtime, New York, things of that nature. So that's why we're kind of seeing some small bearish movement now, but nothing significant because we have all of this information showing that the bulls are back in control. And that's what you want to find. You want to find when the bears or the bulls enter the market and when they actually take control. So we save all this bearish pressure at this level. So they have come and really, in a sense, have kind of taken control at this point. You start seeing these big old bearish candles, and we start seeing some patterns as well. It comes down, and comes down, and then we have the bulls that enter right back in. So they have, this is probably their lunchtime, but they just took a break, and that allowed the bears to come in and bring the market back down. But once they got to a level, um, that the bulls rather, no longer wanted them to push further or below, then you started seeing some rejection. And what I love about this here is when it comes to quarter points or psychological numbers, they usually are going to be retested. So sometimes you'll get something like this where it didn't really retest over in this area. And yes, I have it a little bit light because I don't want a whole bunch of lines on my chart. It did a retest and then it fell, and you're like, okay. But there usually will be some type of just physical retest of a quarter point. It may not happen right away, as you can see, and price could have just shot all the way up and really just came back. But as you can see with this candle here, his was the indication or the psych out that we were going to be going short. And what happened is it came all the way down, hit the quarter point, came all the way in the zone, even past the zone. And then it came and it closed right back above. That's why it's important to wait for the candle to close, because it closed right above the zone, above the quarter point, above the 1 or the 10. And so that would have been a nice entry right when this candle closed, and proper risk management, you would have been able to withstand this long wick. And the same thing with this one right here as well. So now it's just a game of waiting, let it do its thing. Probably around 2:30, 3 o'clock. It's going to make another move or so, may consolidate for now. But hopefully this will be a nice little nugget for trading. It's really good to be able to use price action and see price action, and understand what the candles are telling you. Right now we have this is a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. So let's just see what happens. I'm confident that we're going to be heading up. If I wanted to put my expansion on to find out where at least a good take profit would be. Okay, so you can do a little take profit at the first 1.272 or the 1.61618, 140, or you can do actually take profit 1, take profit 2 would be 29, take profit 3 would be 29,140. Although I do have my bias would be 29,750 to 30,000. So into the trade. If you're not in the trade right now, what you can do is wait for a nice small retracement to come back, and it's probably what it's doing, and get in from there. And I'll try to do another video on that particular entry. As you can see, I'm not in this trade on Trading View, but I am in the trade via my MT4. So we can just see how this all plays out. Let me just move this down like right here. Get a little trend line break. There should be some type of reversal pattern that we're going to see, so we can enter the trade. It may not be a reversal pattern. It may be something, it could be just a higher low and take it up. But we'll see how it all plays out. I'll try to do another video on this entry here on Trading View. So until next time, deuces.